Hi everyone, welcome back. We're looking at the project management key concepts from the PMBOK guide for chapter 4, which is project integration management in the PMBOK guide. When we start off with the project charter, the business case is one of the biggest things that feeds into that project charter, the very first step that we're looking at. So what is a business case? Well, the approved business case, or something similar, no matter what that is, whether it's just a document or even it could be a conversation in some cases, if it was really ad hoc. But it's a business document most commonly used to create our project charter, which is that very first step in the PMBOK guide process groups. And the business case describes that necessary information from a business standpoint to determine whether the expected outcomes justify the required investment. So we've got our cost versus our benefits, and do they weigh up? That's why our business case is commonly used for decision making by managers or executives above the project level. So the project sponsor, who ultimately will potentially fund this project or at least provide the resources in their part of the organization to proceed with the project. So how do we create a business case? Well, there are a few things that we can do, and the first is to research or analyze any of the following below, just to see if that investment is going to be worthwhile. So it sounds very simple, but you do have to do the legwork. You do have to actually do a little bit of mathematics, probably, really do a bit of research, figure out if it's going to be worthwhile. So you could research any of these things. For example, the market demand. Out there in the world, are customers saying that this is exactly what we're wanting? And that's what we're going to create. Is there an organizational need? So maybe we're wanting to combine a few departments. Maybe the company is downsizing, or maybe it's growing and you need to create a new department. And all of a sudden that requires resources, it requires processes, it requires things to be set up, and that could be a project that needs to be kicked off. Customer request. Imagine if you work at, let's say you work at YouTube, for example, and you're seeing all of this customer feedback, and you're seeing customers say, I really want this feature, I really want this feature, and everyone is sort of requesting that all the time. Then maybe we want to check whether that's worthwhile, how much is it going to cost, and we put a business case forward to get it approved and get that change made. Legal requirements. If you're working in financial services, or maybe you're working in health, there's always legal requirements. There might be royal commissions, for example. There might be, the government looking into or making changes to the legalities around your profession. And that requires you to make a change, and that requires you to see whether it's worthwhile and create a business case. Exactly. Ecological impacts. Do we want to reduce the paper? Do we want to reduce our carbon footprint? Do we want to look better towards the market because we're a better ecological company? What do we need to do? Is it worthwhile? Can we spend the dollars, and can that give us an outcome that's worthwhile? And of course, social need. So, maybe think about COVID, for example. Even just recently, the COVID response and the social need, the vaccines that need to be created. Those are projects. How much do they cost? Do they need government funding? Can you get government funding? Is that cost going to be worth the effort for that particular vaccine? There's 20, 100 different vaccines on the cards. And so which one is the most worthwhile? Which one is going to be worth that investment? That's where the research comes in. That's your business case. And lastly, once we've done all that research, we simply write the business case, which is a short document outlining what we have found. And of course, the enterprise environmental factors, so the way an organization actually works. Is it done by, conversations in the hallway, or is it done by this approving manager, or is it done by a project management office? Does it have to go through the proper governance through this particular office? What are the actual enterprise environmental factors of the company that you're working in? How does work get done? Make sure you know. And of course, organizational process assets, and there's an AL on the end there that I've missed, but these are maybe you have a template that's accepted, and a business case has to be done in that particular template. I know many companies that work this way. And looking at that, one idea of a template is to outline on a page the issue at hand. So customers are requesting X, the facts, 1 million customers are requesting X, and it could, each of those customers is worth $10. So now we've got $10 million potential return, whatever this is. The risks or assumptions, the risks are that only, that not all of these customers will take it on board, so maybe only 50%. We're assuming that 50% will take it on board, that's our assumption. And lastly, our recommendation, based on that, if it's only going to cost, say, $100,000 to do it, but we're going to make 5 million potentially, then I think this is something that we would hopefully approve based on that investment and that potential return. And then we look to put that into our project charter and initiate our project. And that is the business case.